Hey Girl Scouts of Central Illinois, my name is Jacqueline. I hope you could see and hear me. I'm going to give 1 minute and then we'll get started. I hope you are ready to talk about nature. I know it's a little gloomy out today, it's kind of sad, but we did have great weather the other day. So we could handle a little rain. I think it'll be good for us. All right. Hey Audra. So today we're going to be talking about plants. I'm going to show you a way how to germinate your plants out of a egg carton. So some of you might have egg cartons, some of you may not. If you don't eat eggs, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you could totally do the same thing with TP rolls. I think we all have TP rolls in our house. So all you have to do is you're going to take this, you're going to cut it in half, and then you're going to clip 4 corners, and then you're going to fold them, there you go. So I'm going to tilt you down so you can see what we're doing. So here's my egg carton. Like I said, if you don't have an egg carton, you could totally use TP rolls. You just cut them up. Make sure when you do them, you have a little hole so your water can't escape. You could take them, you could line them up on your tray. It'd be perfect. You can put them in a little cute container if you'd like. If you do have a TP roll, or if you don't, an egg carton, that's what we're going to use today. So we're going to take your egg carton and you're going to empty out all your eggs, and you're actually going to take it and you're going to cut off the lid. So be careful with scissors. So what we're doing is a process called germination. Germination is beginning of plants growth from a seed. The beginning of plants growing from a seed. So now we have our lid. Let's see if I can turn it down more. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take soil. So I'm going to get my soil. The bats of soil are really heavy and I have a really hard time carrying it. So I like to transfer my soil into a little pot. It's easier, it's manageable. Hey Julie. That's what I like. If you are stronger than I am, I swear I work out, you could grab the whole bag. But I'm going to take my little shovel. A little trick I did, what I do, I had to rewrite it, is I like to show like how deep it is. So certain plants, they say to bury the seeds like a 1/2 inch or an inch or 1/4 of an inch. My 1/4 inch kind of left. It's easier, so I know. I mark it, I could check it, so I know what I'm doing. You could estimate it too. I know that my pinky is about almost 1 inch long, so I do that as well. So the shovel's a little big. I'm gonna stand up. I'm just using a Chinese spoon. Some of you may have a Chinese spoon, some of you may not. It's easier to fill them, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna fill it. I don't know if you could see, but I did poke holes in the egg cartons to help for draining. All I did was take a little pencil and I just drew a couple holes in it, nice and easy. All right, so I'm gonna fill them about, 2/3 of the way. Now I'm doing it over a cookie sheet because if you watch my last video, I do everything over a cookie sheet. I don't like cleaning. I think cleaning is just not my cup of tea. So I do everything over a cookie sheet. It's easier to do. It's easier just to dump the soil outside instead of my beautiful floors. All right. So they're about 2/3 full. You could kind of tell how much to fill on your little egg crate. There's like 2 lines, so there's like a bottom line and then there's like a line right here. I always go by the bottom line. It's easier. All right, I'm gonna take out this little twig. Now I'm going to get my seeds. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant parsley, thyme, and chives. You could plant whatever you want, but this is what we need. I like to have fresh herbs. It's easier to cook. We make a lot of soups, so it's always nice to have fresh stuff. So I'm gonna take, what's always good to look at your pack, look at the back. It will tell you the depth of planting. I don't know if you can see it. You take how long in the germination, how many days of maturity. So I'm gonna just take my seeds. Also a tip trick, I always forget what I plant and things, so I have to write what I plant. So I wrote exactly all their names on each egg carton, each little hole, so I knew. I'll forget, I'll come back in like 3 days and be like, what did I plant? So I wanna make sure I plant in the correct spot. So this is parsley, so I'm gonna get my parsley. I do about a couple in each, so they have a higher chance. They are the teeny tiniest seeds in the world. You probably can't see them, but they're so tiny and they're so cute. So I'm just gonna do a couple. I'm just gonna lay them on top. They say 1/4 of an inch deep. You could take a little pencil, oops, and poke your little holes. That's parsley, checking it. Parsley, we're good. Next is thyme. All right, so these are itty bitty as well. They're so tiny. So I'm gonna sprinkle some in each one. You get a better rate, so you hopefully have a better chance of growing something instead of nothing. Okay. And then chives will be in the last one. Perfect, chives. We're on the right path. That's too big. Ooh, these are bigger. These look so much better. Now, do any of you plant a garden? If you could just write in the comments, I'd be really interested to know how many people plant a garden, what they plant in their garden. I know some people won't plant until Mother's Day. They're worried about the frost. I took a gamble and I planted it this weekend. Oh, you do, Julie. It sounds good. What do you plant? So I'm really hoping that they don't drown in all this rain, even though rain's really good for them. Now, I'm gonna take my lovely planter box with little feet. It's so cute. And I'm going to fill it up just a little with the tops. So then just to cover the seeds. Molly, I wanna see what you have in your garden. So we planted, I think, a little less than 20 different things in our garden. We do most of it from seed. Carrots are biannually. So we dug half the carrots up last year, and then we left half the carrots up for this year. I'm really interested to see how they go. We usually don't leave them for a second year, but we thought, we'll take a gamble on it. What do we have to lose? Right? All right. So I'm gonna put my lovely planter on the floor. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna water them. Now, seeds are just like us. They need air, little H2O, so they need water, soil, and sun. So make sure you place this in a warm, sunny spot. I use a spray bottle. I think it's easier when I use a watering can. I just think it comes out too fast and it kind of drowns them. And it's really cute. My mom bought this for me. I think, I really don't remember, but it comes out too fast. So I use a little watering can. You can tell pink's my favorite color, and we're just going to water them. I want popcorn seeds so bad. There's a farmer here, call him Farmer John. He's our neighbor. He plants corn, and he allows us to pick it. And he has a couple rows for popcorn, which I am always so jealous. But he does allow us to take some, so I'm very fortunate that I do love all my neighbors. So there's only 2 people that live in this house. We do plant a big garden because we do like to feed our neighbors as well. I have a neighbor, Jerry, who loves lettuce. So we plant like iceberg lettuce, and we're doing different kinds of lettuce. There's only so much we could plant or we could eat. So we like to give some to him. It's a really great idea. Obviously we have to wait now to give him anything. And then we plant our garden. We do 1/2 everything, and then we wait a couple weeks. We plant the other half with the same row, same vegetables, same herbs, so that it keeps, so we'll have it like all summer long. All right, so there you go. Like I said, if you don't have an egg carton, you could totally use TP rolls, cut them up. You could use really anything. You could use soup cans. So I've done this. I have soup cans. You have to drill a hole in the bottom to make sure the water comes out. You fill them up, keep them in a warm, sunny place. Now I did start some, like I said, a while ago, so I'm gonna show you. So these are the old flower cartons. We buy flowers for the front of the house, and we put them in the new pots, and I save them every year so I could use them. I need quite a few egg cartons if I wanna do it, to plant our whole, germinate our whole garden. So these are actually watermelon. We tried them last year, they didn't go so well. So please cross your fingers. We're really hoping that they go better this year. I did mark them. Like I said, if I didn't mark them, I'd be like, what are we planting? And I wanna be careful when I transplant them to a different site to make sure that they're not right next to the tomatoes or next to the cantaloupe. They vine out really long, so you don't want them to like entwine with one another. It's crazy. Another tip that I have learned is that I have a big backyard, and my hose is all the way at the other end, so I literally have to like lug basically 2 hoses all the way to water your garden. So be careful on where you garden or where you plant. Kind of be careful on where you're planting next to where your hose is. I'm gonna work out a little harder so I could be easier to move the hoses as well. Another tip I just read is, I don't know if you're like me, but I have long fingernails and I don't like it, getting dirt in them. And they say if you take soap, we just have Irish Spring, and you rub your nails over it, a little soap will get in there and it'll help getting the dirt in there. And then when you're done planting your garden outside in some sun, you could wash your hands off and the soap's already in there, and it'll help you kind of keep all the little soil out. So that's a great tip. Another thing that we do in our garden is we have landscaping around, so we have a bunch of these rocks. This year I went around, found some really big flat rocks, and I wrote what each row what we planted was. So last year we had stakes. They were plastic. Some of them fell over, some of them got lost, so I think rocks was the best option to do. I wrote like tomatoes, carrots, horseradish. We planted horseradish. A little on there, kind of little markers so you know. It looks really pretty in the garden as well. So show me what you plant. I hope you plant some good stuff. Remember to water it. I forget to water it sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll have a little like watering chart. This is a new one. The current one looks so bad. But I'll write what plant and I'll kind of check to see if I watered it or not. Like I said, I'm so forgetful. So if I don't see it, I'm gonna forget it. Or did I water it? I'm gonna water it twice. do a chart. It's wonderful. It's a great idea. Okay, so when I'm outside, I love to see all the little birds outside. I love hanging out with them. I love hearing them tweet, 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 and the doves. So today we're going to make, I can't see, little bird seeds, like a bird feeder. So I'm gonna show you, we're gonna make a bird feeder wreath. This is actually great for the holidays. You don't really need much, so you just need Knox gelatin, the plain one. Don't get flavored because you don't want to hurt the birds. So just make sure, it doesn't have to be this brand, just get gelatin, make sure it's unflavored, and the only ingredient in there should just be gelatin. So in this bowl, I told you we're gonna make a big wreath. I'm gonna start my microwave, but this is 1 cup of gelatin. I'm gonna start my microwave, and I have about half a cup to 3/4 cup of water. You need the water to be hot. If you've ever worked with gelatin before, if you've made Jell-O, you want to make sure the water is hot or it's not going to dissolve and it ain't going to look good. So we're going to need a bundt pan. If you don't have one, you could totally make same recipe, but just use cookie cutters. If you're going to use a cookie cutter, make sure you get a thick one. So for example, this is Star. It's kind of thin. You want to make sure that when you make them, you want them thick. So this is a tree. You can use whatever you would like. Use my Girl Scout one that Sally gave me. Because use a little heart. But we're going to use a bundt pan today. Now I'm going to show you what the finished project's going to look like. So this is what we're making. So you need string too. So hold it up, you could hang it up. Like I said, it's really neat to do it during the holidays. You could add cranberries to them and it kind of gives a nice little pop in your little house. It's a nice little treat for the birds as well. I like that. You could add pumpkin seeds, you could add almonds, really anything that birds could eat. So girls, don't add like marshmallows, like eat those for yourself. Don't add like hot Cheetos or anything. That won't be good. So, you need string. Make sure when you get string, get something heavy. This is pretty heavy, so make sure you want like a durable one. So this one I got at the dollar store. They sell like a whole bunch of different ones. If you're doing a small one, so if you're doing just like the tree or the Girl Scout or the heart, you could just use everyday string. So, all right. I think you make sure you pick up all your seeds. I have a dog and he'll eat it and we don't want that to happen. So you're gonna do it over a cookie sheet like I always do. It's easier for any of the crumbs that you have or leftovers, it's easier to clean up. All right, so let me check on the water. All right, 30 seconds left. Whew. I'm gonna break everything in my kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna tilt it down. It is hot, so be careful. So I'm gonna take it and we're going to mix it all up. So I use a whisk to try to mix it all together. You kind of want it to be kind of like a thinner glue solution. I think it's what I always think when this is it. It's kind of like the cement glue you buy for like projects and stuff. So here it is. So there it delicious. It doesn't look appetizing. It doesn't smell good because I'm not using strawberry or lime, but once again, we don't want to hurt the birdies. So this is great. You could go in there and do it with your hands when we add the bird seed, but let it sit for a while if you are going to do it because the water is warm. Right. Now we're going to add about 3 to 4 cups of bird seed. So I just got regular old bird seed. Now, hey Sarah. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. I measured that out perfectly, and I didn't mean to. All right, so we're just gonna add it all in there. Take your little spatula, and you wanna fold it, mix it, any way you want to try to incorporate the gelatin and the birdseed together. Like I said, it's gonna get really messy. You're gonna wanna do it over a cookie sheet. Now you could see that it's kind of getting all lumpy. It's what you want because you want it to kind of mold to it. If it's not, it's fine. It's still gonna work out. But I've noticed that if I kind of have it more sticky, it seems to work better. Like I said, you could go in there with your hands and really mix it up. It sticks everywhere. It's like working with marshmallows. Now I'm gonna get my bundt cake. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't spray it. I just grabbed it. It will come out really easily. And you're going to kind of dump it all in there. You can hear the little seeds coming apart. It's kind of like working with, now I'm getting my hands in. With marshmallow, if you ever made homemade marshmallow, it's kind of like the same deal. You're gonna really want to kind of work it in there. You got to work fast. All right. I gotta put the spatula down. And like I said, it's like making Rice Krispie treats too. You really want to push it in there. And get it really in there. You want to have it form to the mold so you get that really pretty wreath look. All right, so there it is. I'm going to wash my hands. You're going to want this to sit for about a day or so. Some people put it in the fridge or in the freezer, which is fine. It just helps it set a little faster. So you could do whichever one's easier. I like to just leave it out. I could wait a day. So I'm really gonna push it in there. This one's really sticky, so I probably should have added just a little more water, but it should turn out fine. And like I said, I'll show you the finished project. And here's your wreath. It's beautiful, it's cute, you could hang it. A question I get a lot is when the birds start eating it and they become into these itty bitty pieces and it falls off the string, what do you do with them? You could have the squirrel eat them, you could do that. I have a birdhouse I got at a garage sale and I just put them in there. Birds will eat them. It's the same thing. So here's the leftover ones that I had from an earlier wreath that we did. I have them here and this one as well. I just like to put in the bottom. Gives them something to eat. You could leave it for the squirrels if you would like. That's it. So girls, I hope that you create your own birdseed wreath. It's really easy. It's really fun. It's really kind of messy as well. I hope you grow your own garden. I hope you germinate your own garden. I want to see everything you make. Don't forget to hashtag us at GSCI Shines On. If you want this recipe, you can go to our website and get it. It should be up there along with a whole bunch of different ideas as well. Coming up this week, we have tomorrow, it's a little pop-up shop. So it's a pop-up shop, it's at 6:30. It's fun, you can get cool swag like this. And then Friday, we have outdoor day camp with Lisa. That will be fun. And then we back STEM, make your own lava lamp, ooh, with Courtney. And then we have life skills back here with me. And next week, I'm going to teach you how to create your own escape room. I think right now is a great time to do that, to kind of get your family together and create an escape room. It's really easy. It's not as hard as you think. But before we go, we're going to play a quick game. So I'm going to get my phone for this. And we're going to play Guess That Sound. So it's going to be a bird, and I want you to guess what bird it is. All right, are you ready? Hopefully you could hear it. Does anyone know? Does anyone know what bird sound that is? You probably hear it all the time when you're outside. But that's a dove. So we actually have a lot of doves in our yard. So good job if you got that right. All right, for the next bird call, this is probably, if you know Jess Foster, is probably her favorite bird. So that'll give you a hint. Good job, Chrissy. So that is actually a northern cardinal call. Like I said, if you know Jess, she's a big Cardinals fan. She does Girl Scout Day at the Cardinals. That's always fun to go to. Now for the last one. This last one I'm doing for my nephew. It's not a bluebird. All right, I'm gonna try to play it again. I'm gonna play it again. Are you ready? Listen. Not a robin. All right, so I tricked all you guys. It's actually a pteranodon. Hopefully I said that right. My nephew would be like all over me if I didn't get that right. So it's a dinosaur. It's a flying dinosaur. If you love Jurassic Park, you'll know what a pteranodon is. It's this bird that flies around. So I hope you had fun with me. I hope to see you back next week so we could do some fun escape room games together. Remember, don't forget to hashtag us. And I want to see everything you guys come up with. I want to see all your beautiful wreaths, all your little germination, little seeds happening. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Bye.